Amazing!
You see this? Well, I'm about to thrust it towards you. Hello! Quite obviously, we are doing something a tad bit different today. This is obviously not my usual vintage sort of content. I'm coming at you, a lot more neutral and vulnerable because there is a subject that I wanted to talk about. The main point of today's video is kind of just to sit down and chat a little bit about body positivity. Because, I just got a lot of feelings. More specifically, I wanted to talk about hip dips. And on the topic of body positivity, this video is sponsored by Lively. I'm going to talk a little bit about them and then we can kind of get into the meat of the video. So Lively is a clothing / lingerie / activewear company. When they approached me, I knew that I wanted to do kind of a video about positivity because when you go on their site, it is inclusive, it is diverse. I normally wouldn't really consider doing a video for an underwear related topic, but I was just really impressed with their size ranges and their message of making every woman, every size, feel confident and feel good in their bodies. And also it's affordable too. I'm not just out here promoting this brand that I personally wouldn't buy. All of their bras are $35 and go down from there. And they did let me pick out 3 items. So I picked out kind of this bralette, I guess. And honestly, I wear this thing all the freaking time because it's not quite a sports bra, but it is super freaking comfortable. It has like these heavy duty straps. And they also sent me 2 colors of a strapless bra. I get a ton of questions about strapless bras whenever I wear an off the shoulder peasant top or anything like that, and I have been on the search for a good strapless bra for a very long time, and I think I finally found my solution. Thank you to Lively for sponsoring this video. If you guys want to check it out, you can get $10 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. Let's get back to the topic of this video. So if you've never heard of them, hip dips is the phenomenon of when you have sort of an indent in your hips. Growing up, you never really hear anyone talk about it or anyone describe it, so you kind of are left to wonder what is wrong with you and why you don't have those perfect hips that you always see portrayed. And let me tell you right now, nothing is wrong with you. So the thing that causes hip dips is quite literally your bones. A hip dip occurs when your hip bone is a little higher up than some people's, meaning there is more space in between your hip bone and your femur, causing that little bit of indent. And I can remember back when I was in college, I started doing a little bit of research on it. To find out that that was the case was such a comfort to me, and to find out that it is literally my skeleton, because it's so easy to compare yourself to other people and think, why don't my hips look like that? That's what I've been told is kind of the perfect image of that womanly figure, and I'm here to tell you that's bullcrap. I never knew what it was, but I always knew that jeans kind of looked weird on me, and I could never wear any high-waisted things because of that indent. Always made me feel very self-conscious. And even when I was starting to get into that kind of pinup vintage scene, I could never wear those pencil skirts or the tight skirts because I was so worried about what people would think and why I didn't look like the other pinup girls. So I wanted to talk about that because it's kind of a solidarity thing. Yeah! I remember back when Instagram kind of first took off and I posted about it, I didn't expect anyone to really commiserate with me or understand what I was talking about. I kind of just posted it out of frustration and out of curiosity. But that post got a lot of conversation started, and it got a lot of people, saying, I have that too, I didn't know anyone else had that. And even months and months later, people kept coming back to it. So that was kind of my hint to know that I wasn't the only one who was wondering about this and who felt alone in their body shape. So here I am, hip dips galore! You're not alone. It is how you are built. It is your skeleton. I can obviously understand still being frustrated with it. To be honest, I think vintage style helped me a lot with it because I found a way to hide it. I found, A-line skirts and A-line dresses, which I do think is a kind of normal way to approach insecurities, is just to hide them away, out of sight, out of mind. And I'm here to tell you, that is phooey. Because when you think about it, hiding things like hip dips is kind of the perfect example of how subconsciously even obsessed we are about that perfect form. Because who's to say that hip dips aren't a normal way for your body to look? We are kind of conditioned to think that if we don't have those perfectly round hips, then we are not worthy enough to show them off. And I think that's pretty silly when you sit back and think that we are hiding our literal skeletons because of what we've been told and what we've been shown. I really want to wear that tight skirt, but my damn femurs. Am I right? I'm not saying that body positivity is necessarily a switch that you can just, I feel great. It is a journey, and I think it's really refreshing to see, especially with the surge of social media, that people are becoming more enthusiastic about loving your own skin and your own body and your own skeleton. And even when I was doing some research for this, I saw kind of this trend going around that people are talking more about their hip dips and accepting and embracing it, which is really, really nice to see. And I kind of wish I had that when I was growing up because I didn't even know it was a thing. And I understand that learning to love yourself, even with your flaws, is hard. And I myself am still working towards being kinder to my body and the image that I have of it. It's obviously not perfect, but it's been through a hell of a lot. And I'm not here saying that I don't have insecurities, because trust me, I have a plenty of them. Stretch marks? I got them. My chin makes this really weird line sometimes when I talk. I virtually have no booty. It is a back that turns into legs. Growing up, I always was upset that I had brown eyes, and I always wanted blue or green or light eyes. And of course, the ever-present tummy rolls when you're not standing up straight, or even if you are standing up straight. But I think when I take a step back and reevaluate these flaws and think about them in a different way, stretch marks are just proof that my body was adapting to me growing, and I think it did a pretty dang good job. Also, I think stretch marks are kind of cool. As far as the skin on my chin, there's not much I can do about that, and honestly, I'm starting to come to think of it as almost like a dimple, kind of like my ventriloquist dummy dimple. And as far as my bum, yes, there are plenty of exercises that I could do to, plump it up. But honestly, the more I think about it, the more I wonder why we even worship big tushies in the first place. It's a bit weird when you think about the whole thing. And to be honest, I'm a bit done with being ashamed that a part of my body isn't as big as it should be. Okay. And as far as my eyes, they are a part of me. They are the eyes that my mother gave me, the eyes that I will probably give my children someday. They're dark and mysterious. And as far as tummy rolls, honestly, if you look at Greek goddesses, you bet your bottom they have tummy rolls. All this to say, we all have quirks and we all have insecurities, I get it, but also, that's being human, baby. Us as creatures, we are so complex and complicated, and if you just take a second to stop and think about all the things your body does to keep you alive and to keep you healthy on this beautiful planet, something like a high hip bone or a small tushy doesn't seem like such a big deal anymore. And that's not to say that you can't strive for self-improvement also when it comes to your body. I am currently on the journey to kind of get myself more toned and more strong. I get wanting to improve your areas of insecurity, but I also feel like during that transition and during that quest, you should still love yourself in every step of the way. No more of the mindset that is, if I'm so-and-so pounds, I'll love my body. Or I will love my arms once they get ripped. And I am definitely guilty of that also. But I just feel like if you don't stop and appreciate what your body's doing for you, then even when you get to your goal, you're still not going to be happy. And to get more philosophical, our time here is so short, and to spend any amount of time worrying about how you look in a tight skirt is so silly. Wear the dang skirt. Forget what anyone else thinks. Honestly, if someone is judging you for wearing an item of clothing, or how your body is built, or how your weight carries, then they're weenies. It is your meat vessel, not theirs. Again, we are all just meat bags. Be kind to your meat bag. Anyways, now that I definitely sound like an alien who blew her cover by revealing how fascinated she was with the human body, I don't know, my point is that we are all built differently. We all gain and lose weight differently. We all have our different quirks and our different insecurities, but I think if you just take a step back and think about how amazing your body is, and just to be kind to yourself, your body does its best, and it does a pretty amazing job of keeping you here, keeping you healthy, and keeping you alive. Give it a little appreciation, and if anyone ever tries to tell you any different, just stand up and shout, "I am a complex and amazing mix of meat and electricity." Anyways, I'm not sure if this video came across as kind of preachy or not, but it's just something that's been on my mind for a while. I just hate seeing people feel like they need to measure up to anyone else, or that image of the perfect body, because at the end of the day, it's about you, and it's about loving your meat vessel. Because believe it or not, someday you're gonna look back and think, why did I care so much about my small tushy? Anyways, that is it. I love you guys, whether you're new or old to this channel. If you're new here and you feel like sticking around, feel free to subscribe. I upload every week and we have fun here. Ew. I got hobbit feet. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! This is obviously not my sort of, you know... Can you stop walking around? Your little nails make little tap-tapping noises and they're very loud. But I'm gonna need you to stop being a little Fred Astaire and just kinda, you know, sit still for 5 seconds. Can you tell the people, you know, sometimes I get a little self-conscious that I just have a little nubby when other puppies have full tails, but I've learned to accept myself. Embrace the nub. Birth and hips, I don't know. I'm sweaty. Why you don't have those perfect... And also on this kind of body positivity, okay.